Hi everybody, this is Mike Hamilton on Sunday the 5th of December. Less than 3 weeks till Christmas. Oh dear, boy, coming up fast. Let's have a look at these markets and see what's coming up for the week ahead. Quick look at the dollar market first. So we sold off as we broke that back down through the 200 EMA. We're now trapped between the 200 and the 50. Now this is a nice move to the upside, so a pullback to 50 EMA is quite common in a trend, in a long trend. And we actually held, if you look at this a little bit closer, we actually held the 20 EMA down here. I'm looking for this dollar to hold here and move between the 50 and the 200 EMA here, and then potentially break out. Now why do I say that? Because if you look at the monthly, which I've talked about before, we had a hammer in October, a big buyer's bar in November, and all we've done so far out of 3 days into December, 3 trading days in December, we just pulled back to the hammer. So that's why I think this dollar could hold and possibly move to the upside. If we now look at what we got in the equity market, we got on the back of that weak jobs data on Friday, we've got a very hesitant bar there. So plus the fact we've now got a gap to the 8-day moving average. At the very least, I'm looking for this to come back to test possibly just above the 1200 area for at least a consolidation before we attempt to move to the upside. Because if you look at the monthly, look at that 200 EMA. We haven't touched that 200 EMA since June 2008. Long time ago. So there's a lot of resistance just ahead of us. So I think we are at least going to pull back to that's the 1200 area, or to 1205, 1210 say, before we resume the uptrend. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to look for pullbacks and look for stocks that are holding up. If we do pull back here, look for resilient stocks that show relative strength to the markets. And they're the kind of stocks you want to get long in. Alright, let's have a look at the oil. We had a great week last week, fantastic week. Only one bar that closed low, otherwise we were closed right up here at the highs, so we're at major resistance up here. RSI has still got a lot of scope to move to the upside, so, and the fact this was so strong up here, I would suspect a move back down to something like 88.40 is all we're going to get before this breaks up to possibly 95. This resistance up here is now the 200 EMA in the weekly. So pull back possibly to just under the 88 level before we start to move back up to 94.40. Now let's look at the other markets. Let's look at the gold. This is very strong. If we get a pullback to 1400, if we get it tomorrow, is a good place to get long. But we are very high. A lot of resistance just above us. It's not a high probability trade. The high probability trade was the doji on the 50 EMA back here, which on the 17th of November. If you're not in gold, then I think you're too late. If that dollar does come off the 50 EMA, move to the upside, I think the gold will come under a lot of pressure. It's struggling up here. It closed flat on the previous week, so it's already up against a lot of resistance here. On the grains, this is a good swing trade. You have to assess this on your risk reward ratio, but a pullback to 566 on the corn, and your stop would have to be here for a swing trade, 553, with the potential to get back to 620. So that corn is looking really good. The wheat has hit a major wall just on this resistance. If it breaks up here, the RSI is very high. I forgot to check the RSI on the corn. What's that like? Plenty of scope. Beans, good for day traders. No swing trade up here because the risk reward ratio is not good enough. Right, let's move on. Just being quite cautious on the currencies really until I see the closing dollar index on Monday, to see if it is going to drop down through the 50 EMA or hold it. In the meantime, just look at the euro pound at the top. euro dollar and pound dollar at the bottom. Whereas the euro dollar here in the middle has put a hammer in on a trendline support, the pound has had a better hammer, a deeper hammer, but below trendline support. So what I think we're seeing here is the pound lagging. So I look at this and I think to myself, well, the pound in relation to the euro is undervalued. So what I'm looking for on Monday is just to see if we can close or above on this pound chart. I want to see if we can close above the 50 EMA and above the fib play zone here. So if we get a close up there, 157.95, I will get a pullback to the 50 EMA, or try and get a pullback to 50 EMA to try and get back up to these highs to 162.93. I have actually got a small position in the pound based on a smaller time frame from Thursday night. So I am 175 points up on a half position size in the pound, but I will add to that position if we get above this 50 EMA. But in the meantime, I'm just going to sit tight on Monday and for a swing trade to see if I can get an opportunity to add to my position. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit there. I'm going to lock in profits below 156.50. So I'm going to have my stop on my current half size position at 125 points below where we currently are. And let's see what else we've got. This one goes against the grain a bit in that we're looking for a continued weakness in the US dollar, but it's a very, very technical chart. If you go one bar back for a stop, I've got a lot of history here at 83.93 in this US dollar yen. Look at this pullback area here. We're going to pull back to the 50, just in front of the 50 EMA. There's a massive area here, and it's such a clean technical chart. It's about 2.6 to 1 with a one bar back stop. So you've got to make a decision whether you're prepared to take that. But if you are prepared to take it, don't wait for a pullback to 82.90 and have your stop at least just under 100 points away, 83.95, or 90. Give it a little more, couple of points up there, 83.97, to see if we can get down to 80.26 and beyond. By the way, that's the weekly chart in the US dollar yen as well. That's all I've got for you. If you think you found some great setups, then please do email me. Look forward to seeing some your screen dumps of the charts you're trading. Email me any questions. Have a good week and see you soon.